Welcome to episode 13 of The Sober Stretch, the podcast for anyone that's got a problematic, complicated relationship with alcohol, former alcoholics, recovering alcoholics, active addiction, worried about your boozing. This is the podcast for you. I'm Gary, and this is my mate Craig. How you doing, man?
Very good, mate. Very good. Still trying to get used to you not having a beard no more. You're less of a man like me now, mate.
Yeah, man. It'll grow back in about 2 days.
Yeah, sick. That would take me, honestly, I'm still getting fucking little pubic hairs on my face, mate. I'm still like a little boy. But yeah.
Mate, do you know what? I'm one of those, when I shave, I get the cartoon regrowth immediately.
Yeah, sick.
But it also helped me get served when I was younger.
Yeah, I bet. So,
yeah.
Pros and cons. Today then, so we've probably touched on it before. In fact, we've definitely touched on it before. But it's such a big subject, especially for today's day and age, and it's people that need to go sober and want to go sober, but they're also scared to commit. Scared of what? Fuck knows. But it's kind of like scared of them not having the same friends, scared of their social life taking a nosedive, and stuff like that. But as you know, everything always works out, and you're like, what the fuck was I scared of? But the thought is daunting, I suppose, isn't it? Like the idea of your friends not thinking you're the same person and then fucking you off, basically.
Yeah, I guess a lot of friendship groups, if you are tightly knit with a lot of people that are similar to you, the chances are they're going to be party boys, girls, like a drink, have that social element. And yeah, it was probably harder for you in that regard because you were, based at home. How did your mates react?
They was all like, fair play. Probably didn't believe me, but they was all just like, yeah, fair, sweet. I'm quite like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. That's just the way that I am, and no one's going to talk me out of it. But yeah, no, they weren't like, oh, what the fuck? What are you doing that for? Blah blah. They was all pretty good about it, and I think anyone's friends would be the same. If they're not, then they just want you to drink, and they don't want the best for you, right?
Well, yeah, it just seems really weird to me why anyone would have a problem with any of their friends wanting to stop drinking. And I think I'd have thought that way back.
Yeah, I would have.
Because I'm not a bell end. Do you know what I mean? If my friend said, "Oh, really?" Yeah, do you know what I mean? If your friend is, I don't know, dangerously overweight, and they said they were going on a diet, you'd be like, "Oh, wicked, sound. Do you?" But that doesn't affect other people's nights out, does it? Because I think a lot of people don't want you to quit because they're going to be like, "Oh, where's my drinking sidekick?" Or, "Oh, do I need to consider my relationship with alcohol?" So
yeah,
I think a real mate isn't bothered at all, really. And I know, like, from you sound like you've got proper, like, tight mates. You've got a proper crew, haven't you, that you've been mates with for a long time?
yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's people that you kind of thought were mates, or maybe not, maybe knew deep down that they weren't proper mates. But you'll have mates who you know will be there, yeah, and you'll back each other through whatever. And then there's just, like you said, the drinking partners the drinking boys that you'll see down the pub, say hello, talk a load of waffle. Yeah, you'll go back to someone's kitchen with them, do a load of gear with them, but then you won't speak to them for a week until you next see them down the pub. So them people, or them guys, them girls, you don't hear from anymore at all.
And did that bother you at all?
Nah, not at all. absolute bliss.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I think people get, like we're talking about the fear of quitting. So when
Yeah,
when you have that, when you visualize that in your head,
yeah,
you think, oh, some people might not want to be around me or not want to hang out with me.
yeah,
But ultimately, it's like it's a really good filtration system for your friends, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Like you instantly figure out who's on your side and who's not.
yeah,
And anyone that's not on your side
mate.
need to grow up a little
Yeah,
bit, really.
100%, mate. All my close pals knew that I drank too much. They knew that I wasn't happy, and because I was a miserable bastard, man. Like, yeah, sometimes I can still be miserable now, but that might be because I'm stressed or because of proper reasons. But every day was a struggle, and I weren't happy unless I had a drink. So they recognised that, and they obviously wanted better for me as well.
And and it's easier when you've got the right people pulling in your direction, isn't it?
100%.
Because then you've not got the people saying, "Oh, just come out," and there's that. I mean, that those tiny threads of temptation are enough to knock you back, aren't they?
100%. Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? Like one person can make you relapse or stop you getting sober. It's it's ridiculous, but yeah, any of your real mates will definitely back you 100%. Another thing as well is whilst on the subject of fear and the fear of going sober, it's another message that I get quite often from people is they're worried about missing out on social events. So a big one for you, I know you used to go to a lot of gigs and stuff like that. Um, Weddings can be a challenge. Funerals, if you like a drink, a funeral. But you know what it's like when you're a big drinker. Everything you do, everything you can possibly think of, includes alcohol, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't do nothing without it. It amplifies and makes everything that you do. So I can understand as well why that does scare people. What's your sort of like thoughts on that?
I think you mean on like your identity as a drinker, or
Yeah, I mean, like the idea of going to these social events without booze, or just completely not being able to do it anymore because you don't drink.
I think if you've reached a point where you're scared of not drinking, I mean that is the biggest red flag that you absolutely need to stop drinking, isn't it?
That is true.
Because you're defining any future social fun through the lens of someone that needs alcohol,
That is so true.
and it's like
That's
that's
so
not how
true.
life is supposed to be. So I
Isn't
think
it
if you
right?
make,
Your first thought is there going to be booze there, or
yeah,
or sorry, that's fucking mad because I've never thought about it like that before. But yeah, if you're questioning, are you still going to be able to have fun without booze? And you should stop, shouldn't you?
yeah, because it's the only way you're saying to yourself the only way you can have fun is under the influence,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and that in itself is tragic. Never mind the maybe drinking versions like us who just it was really sad
yeah.
what became of our lives at one point. But if you're umming and ahhing and you just think, oh, I'd like a break, or not a break, I'd like to quit because I know it'd serve me well, but you're worried about not having fun, you have to stop.
That's so true, man. That's so true. And And did you personally take a back seat on the things that you used to love doing? Do you know what I mean? Was there things that you used to love doing when you were drinking that you just completely stopped because you come sober?
I took a very, very like cynical, aggressive approach to it, and just for a while. like I loved socializing. Obviously, I loved going out and I loved being center of attention and having a blast with my mates. I loved that more than anything. So I knew that that had to go. So straight away, I was cutting out the most enjoyable part of my life
Yeah,
in order to make myself better and happier.
exactly. Which is
So I,
why it's no surprise that people are scared about it,
mm,
because you just said it there. That think about it. That took up. If you're not sleeping or working, that was 100% of your life,
yeah.
and that's gone. It has to go. So it is a big thing to do. Like for anyone that is contemplating it, I think it is a big thing.
Oh, it's a massive commitment. A
Yeah,
massive commitment. The likelihood is you've defined your social life from a teenager through alcohol.
yeah, man, exactly.
And
It's
as you get it's fucked,
yeah,
isn't it? As you get older and
scary,
you get
mate.
more
Yeah,
life stress, you start to drink not just socially, you start to drink to cope and to, you know,
it's your
dumb down
DNA.
all your emotions.
It's your personality.
Yeah. So in my case, I felt like I had no choice. If I wanted to really stop drinking, I had to completely change my approach to doing things, anything.
Mate.
Because even going for a coffee in the morning for me when I got sober was a challenge to
Yeah,
not drink,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm on the same page as that as well, because if I think I thought I deeped it one day, I just deeped it one day, and I thought if I don't get sober, I'm never going to have a good life. I'm never going to even entertain the thought of being able to have children one day. I haven't obviously yet, but touch fucking wood, I will one day. I'm never going to get married. I'm never going to have a good career that I enjoy. So all these things, I I haven't even got a hope in hell in achieving any of them if I'm drinking, because
Yeah.
I'm all or nothing, and I fuck my life up. Do you know what I mean? So maybe when you weigh up the pros and cons, it does level itself out.
I think when you weigh up the pros and cons and you actually write them down on paper or on a spreadsheet, you look at it and think,
Yeah, actually,
what is
yeah,
the
yeah,
point in this?
yeah,
Oh, because your pros list, if you're trying to make the decision to go sober, I would highly recommend writing down a pros and cons list
100%
because then you got this you,
visual.
one and maybe like 50,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
and you're sacrificing 50 for one.
yeah, yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see what your definition of the one is, because I think
So,
there's only one pro of drinking.
what do you think it is?
I think it is the first 2 hours of the night out, or from the first sip of the drink.
Yeah,
You
I
get a
would
warm, fuzzy, uh, comfortable, enveloping feeling
yeah,
that just, and then it's gone. After so many
yeah.
pints or whatever you're drinking, it's fleeting. It lasts for a little while, and then it's all downhill from there. And
I would.
apart from that, I can't really think of any other pro.
Mine would purely just be the social aspect, which again is not social after your third or fourth, because it's just it's just not sociable, because you're just talking gibberish. Yeah, you're on the same wavelength as someone else, but you're just talking nonsense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the nonsense wavelength.
Yeah, exactly.
But the
So
thing is, you said you were concerned about losing your social life, but that's the assumption that you can't go out sober.
yeah, but
But you
that's
can.
but but that's what you think, though, isn't it? Or that's what I
That's what
thought.
that's what you think at the time. But I think you don't realize is that your social life, it just changes type. It doesn't go away.
No, yeah, 100%. But I thought because of how you feel when you don't drink, you feel like I felt like an anxious mess. I was like especially in the first few weeks where I was like crippling anxiety. I thought,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, how the fuck am I ever going to go out and talk to people without having a few drinks? But then your brain starts repairing, your body starts repairing after months and months and months, and then yeah, man, you can literally talk to who the fuck you want, can't you? Without the need to have that Dutch courage. You can. My nerves have got like much less. I'm much more of a sociable person now since not drinking. When I was drinking, I wasn't sociable because I needed to have a beer to fucking have a chat with someone.
Yeah, there's being sociable, and then there's going out to socialize, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like you can be social.
You're not a social butterfly if you need to have 3 or 4 beers to have a chat with someone. If you go to the pub and you'll see loads of fellas sat down there from 10 a.m. Weatherspoons, can't say boo to a goose, mate. Scared of their own shadow. It's sad. I'm not mugging them off. It is sad. Have 4 or 5 beers. You see them a couple of hours later. Yeah, happy as Larry, mate. Giving it the big one. This, that, and the other. But then that's just depleting them of it later. The next day, cycle continues. Wake up in the fetal position, quivering wreck. Can't talk, and the cycle goes on. Yeah. So social life improves when you quit drinking.
Well, it does, and I think if you're a heavy drinker or a very social drinker, your social life revolves around hitting a bar or a pub or a bar after work on a Friday. If the weather is shit on a Saturday, in the pub, and if the weather's nice, drinking outside. It's just all drinking establishment related, or barbecue, or
yeah.
But when you get sober, you realise that socialising can be a day out to Leonard's Lee Gardens in East Sussex. Just concepts that would never have entered my head when I was drinking. So when you do the pro and con list, it's just literally opening up all these new avenues to do things that deep down you want to do, and you get pissed off that you don't do because you drink so much.
Yeah. You start. Yeah. I think for me, a big thing that I just want to improve myself, like because I abused myself for so long, and you did as well, and everyone that had a drink problem has. You abuse yourself so fucking much, and you don't care. You begin to like not care about yourself and let yourself proper go. When you quit, for me personally, I'm still big on it now. Like self-help, I want to improve myself as a person as much as possible because you've neglected yourself so much. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I got upset. I'm quite obsessed with that. I've put as much energy into drinking I put as much past tense energy into drinking as I do now, trying to rediscover myself, reinvent myself, be
Yeah.
a better person, learn new skills.
Yeah.
And it's never enough. I'm always, I'm that type of person. I'm hard on myself, but
Yeah, me too.
it's never enough. But it's more than it was,
No,
which is
exactly.
another advantage.
Well, it couldn't be less, could it?
No way. I think people are frightened of how they'll fill their time, but it's almost like people don't realize there are, 95% of the things you can do socially aren't pubs.
I know. Yeah.
or,
But
aren't being at home with something you bought from the off license. That's just a tiny, tiny part of socializing.
that's because it's so hard to believe, isn't it? When you're in that place, it's so hard to believe. I think it's habitual. Like your habit is you're like, it's just always pub, back to someone's house, back to someone's house, back to someone else. So you've built a habit in your brain, and it's been on repeat for fucking 10, 15 years. So I understand why it is hard to believe. But yeah, life, think about it. When you were born, was you destined just to go to the pub every weekend?
No, it's really sad when you say it like that, isn't it?
Yeah. And so
It really is.
there's so much to do. Even in the shithole of Farnborough where I live, yeah, there is so much to do, to be fair, instead of just going to the same pubs.
Well, I look at your Instagram stories and you're out paddleboarding, running. The scenery looks really
Yeah,
lovely.
man.
Yeah, I mean, we're not a million miles away from each other, and when we met the other week, driving around that Surrey Hills area is fucking lush, man. It's
Yeah.
not a million miles from you. But there you go.
No, exactly.
Like, what are you doing on Saturday? Oh well, I'm going to go and watch Palace Liverpool at 12:30, and then we'll probably watch soccer Saturday, and then Chelsea Everton at 5:30, and then we'll go out. What are you
Yes.
doing next Saturday? Oh, Burnley Leeds Championship big game. You know, and people are worried about letting that go.
Yeah.
How many fucking football matches do you need to watch in the pub?
Yeah. Do you
How
know what?
many, really?
That's a weird one for me because I know you do as well. I love football, and I'll always watch football, always. But yeah, no, you're so right. You end up watching shit games that you have absolutely no interest in at all. Just as and then that's an excuse to have a drink in it.
It is. And, you know, if you think about it really from a kid's point of view, as in you are the kid that becomes that alcohol dependent adult, it's fucking tragic.
It is fucking sad, man.
So, when your parents say to you or your teachers, "What do you want to do when you're older?"
I
Oh,
know.
I want an office job that gives me enough money to be able to sit in a pub on a Saturday in the rain with my mates and just get battered until I need to phone some geezer that's going to rock up in a black Golf.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you want to do with your life. Of course, it's fun of course it's fun at the beginning. You're letting your hair down. You become an adult. You've got more freedom and independence. Of course, you're going to take risks and do stupid shit and
Yeah.
maybe make some bad life choices. You're allowed to, but there is no excuse if you really want to quit when you're 35 and you're still coming up with it. Oh, I don't know what I'll do with my time.
No.
Really?
No. Like I said, I can understand it's a daunting thought, but it's really, really, really fucking not. It's the things that you start doing and finding joy out of. Like I've said this so many times. Like just going for a walk, the feeling during and after of going for a nice stroll. If you've got a dog, even better. Just for an hour, it just does something to your head. You just feel better about yourself, and you feel better about the day. The list goes on and on and on. That's just an hour. You can sit in a pub for 10 hours easily, easily. Your
Mm.
whole day is gone. In 1 hour, you've gone for a walk. You've done more than what you would have done in 10 hours of drinking.
Yeah.
And that's just
Yeah.
and you can think outside the box as well, can't you? You can do loads of things. Like you said, I went paddleboarding last weekend with my pals. We had a right fucking laugh. It was funny as fuck. Falling in left, right, and centre. Ended up in some random geezer's back garden, who because we got like a bit lost and stranded, but it was fun. It was like it was like being a bit of a kid again. Do you know what I mean? Before all
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
technology come out and stuff.
It's like an adventure, isn't it? That, but it's a clean adventure, one that if anything goes wrong, you can get yourself out of it. Um, It's savoury, it's healthy. And I know, because you were thinking about paddleboarding, I don't think you'd done it when we started chatting. And now
No.
you've done it, what, 3-4 times? So you've
Yeah.
acquired this new hobby.
Yeah, so I've
There
done.
might be
Yeah.
someone listening to this going, right, tomorrow there's no football at the moment, but I'm going to go and watch the first day of the Olympics in the pub and watch, get excited about a bit
Yeah.
more sport.
Yeah.
How much sport can you watch?
Exactly. But again, another thing is sports and hobbies and stuff. So my friend, every time he drinks, he gets in trouble, or trouble follows him, whatever you want to say. And he's quit many a times, relapsed many a times. But I think the final straw happened for him on like the England game. Something happened, big fight, blah blah blah, and he come football training with me, and he feels so much fucking better. He wouldn't stop messaging me about football, this, that, and the other, because he's buzzing. He feels like he's got a new lease of life again. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's nice. It's nice for him. It's nice to see. And that could be for anyone. You start picking up old things that you enjoyed before drinking, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So you're worried about what you'll do at a time, but soon you'll be saying there's not enough time to do everything that you want to do.
Yeah. Well, of course, because that the list of things you want to dip your toe into just grows quickly. Because you do get that, yeah, it's hard stopping drinking and it's ups and downs. But life's ups and downs if you don't drink anyway. So take your fucking up and down,
Exactly.
and the ups that you get are varied. It's something different every week, perhaps, You go paddleboarding one week, and then the next week, I mean, you've done loads of random shit since we got to know each other.
Yeah, I've got the memory of a sieve, so I can't remember, but
I wonder why.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
The
just
memory's still shot to pieces.
the truth about it is, the people are frightened of quitting because they don't think they'll have fun. But they spend, if people are anything like I was, I spent so much time torturing myself about all the cool things that I could be doing that I couldn't find it in me to go and do. So there was like this element of discomfort anyway, emotionally, because I knew I was just wasting all my life.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah, 100%. So
So it's like
you,
you can't win if you're drinking, you want to quit, and you regret wasting your days and money in the pub or at social
you knew
events.
it, but you were still fucking yourself up.
Yeah.
It is sad. You must have been sad for a long time.
Oh man, I was so depressed. So
It's
depressed.
not funny, is it? But
It's not.
yeah, if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Oh god, I know. I think about the. I think. Do you know when it really hit home to me was often on a Sunday lunchtime or afternoon. I was like, damn it, another weekend where I've done nothing apart from drink.
Innit?
And all of these emotions of turmoil. And the solution is to stop drinking.
But you
Because then
can't there and then, can you? Because it's Sunday, you've already fucked it.
yeah. But later on, the only turmoil you have is the inner turmoil of fighting the urges to go and drink.
Mate, 100%.
So you've got like one turmoil again. It's the pros and cons against loads of turmoil. Oh, why didn't I go like yours? Oh, why didn't I go and visit my nephews? Or why didn't I go and have Sunday lunch with my mum? Why didn't I
Yeah. Letting
ask
family
that
members
girl if she
down.
wanted to go for a picnic?
Yeah. Your relationship with your family will improve. I'll put hundreds of pounds on that. There's when you like you said, you missed a roast dinner with your family. That's fucking sad. I always used to like miss out on seeing family and shit like that, and it's so sad because one day they'll be gone, and you'll just remember that time you fucking decided to have a few beers, or more than a few beers. You decided to get wrecked in a pub, sniff a load of shit, instead of seeing your family. That's fucking poor.
Weird, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
weird what people do.
Well, we done it, didn't we?
I know, it's so fucking depressing thinking about it. Because I know people, there are different types of people that listen to this. There are a lot of women around my age, I would say, who yeah, there's a lot of females about my age, maybe between 35 and 50, who drink heavily and are very reliant on it and hate the fact that they do. Then we get a lot of people that are like you and me, like lads, football loving, gig going, gear sniffing. You know, I wasn't okay, not as much as you, but you know the type of person.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
would
yeah.
say those
Lads,
two
lads,
groups,
lads, geezers.
lads, those two groups of people are the main people that listen to this.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that those lads don't want to be those lads.
No, no.
As much as that you might want to have the bravado in the pub and give it fucking large.
Yeah, no.
These people on a Monday morning are gibbering wrecks
I
like we
know.
were. You're not.
I know, mate. I was one of them. Literally was. I thought I was a lad. Like, what's sad is if I could have, like on online dating on like Tinder and that, yeah.
Mm.
When they ask you to like describe yourself, that's all I could think of. Like, if I was to write anything, all it would be like likes a beer. That would be it. That would be it. Um, um, that would
Yeah.
be it. I'm not saying I'm fucking like, again, like God's gift or anything like that. Or I've got. You can't stop laughing over that, can you?
I think it's just funny. It's so true, man.
But there's more to me now. There's more. Do you know what I mean? There's more than just a geezer that. I'm not even a geezer. I was saddo. More than just some guy that likes a pint. There's more to it now.
Yeah, but like I know what you mean about the Tinder profile. I can quite like these kind of things. Like, oh shit, what shall I put? Because I don't have any of these. I read a philosophy book at
Yeah.
uni. Philosophy, but
Yeah.
even though I knew I was interested in a lot of things. I didn't have any interests,
Nah. No.
so
No. Yeah.
I didn't know how. I wouldn't have known how to define myself to
Mate.
a potential
How are you
date.
gonna get? How are you gonna get? There'll be some lucky, good-looking bastards out there, yeah, that naturally just don't fucking put on weight. They stay, they don't get mad bloated and stuff like that. And there'll be the lucky fuckers that still get away with it, yeah. But how are you gonna meet a bird or do well in life? How are you gonna secure like the job of your dreams by impressing an employer if there's nothing there apart from a bloke that just likes to have a pint?
Yeah, the Tinder profile could also be the same. Could be said for the personal statement on a
TV.
CV or list of achievements. I don't know how CVs roll nowadays, but fucking ChatGPT probably writes everyone's CV now.
100%, mate.
But when I used to find it hard, back in the day, the last section where you had to write a little bit about yourself, I had nothing to write.
Yeah, yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
literally nothing. If I wrote it now, I wouldn't be able to cram what I've done in the last 10 years of my life into one paragraph, no matter how, succinct I was going to be, because I've done so much and I am so much now. But back then, I had no idea what to write. I'm like, likes traveling. I
yeah,
go to Spain every 2 years to
yeah,
get pissed. Couldn't even afford a fucking holiday. So that in itself, to potential employers and to potential romantic interests, you've got nothing to offer. It's
but
fucking depressing. So
that was me.
that was me, bro. That was me. I remember I dated this girl I can't remember how it was. It was not. I dated. I'd been on a few dates with it. It was not long before I stopped drinking. Like weeks. And I remember she came to see me, and in Seville, where I was living, where I stopped drinking, and we did something nice in the morning. And she was proper Spanish. She was like, "Oh, I need a nap in the afternoon." Not like, "Oh, let's just go and have a bit of fun in the hotel," but like needed a nap. A fucking lifetime napper. So I thought, I'll get a couple of cans, like two little cans of Coke, that cat size, the
Oh,
little 330s. No, cans of beer, but like that, the
oh
small
yeah,
one, not
yeah,
the
yeah.
pint cans. They sell them a lot over there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember she had a kit, and I can't sleep in the day, and I drank two cans in bed. And I just thought it was the most normal thing in the world. And when she woke up, she obviously could smell it, but she looked and the cans were empty, and she thought I was fucking insane.
You didn't even
And
hide them.
I didn't think it was weird. I was like, well, it's like you've come to see me. It's the weekend. It's 3 in the afternoon. Why wouldn't I have a drink in my
Oh yeah.
hotel bed? And she just thought I was mental. I don't think I saw
Really?
it. Yeah.
I don't think that's that bad.
Well, of course you don't, because you're an alcoholic.
Yeah, if it was 8 in the morning, maybe. Fucking
I
hell.
know.
Mate,
But to me,
mate, anything after 12 I thought was normal.
yeah, so did I. But it just goes to show how not normal it is. So what was I showing her? I was in no state to be in a relationship. It was 2 months before I stopped drinking. I was a fucking mess.
That's so
But
funny that you just cracked open a few cans on your own, like next to her.
in bed while she was asleep, I was watching like some fucking, I don't know, Spanish equivalent of EastEnders or something in the afternoon.
Yeah,
And
nice.
I remember her face. But my point is, what are you worried about? What type of person don't you want to create for yourself?
Yeah, no.
That doesn't make sense.
But
What
but it just all makes sense, doesn't it?
it does when you get sober.
Everything just makes sense.
Yeah.
You become the person that you was meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, why would if you okay, you and I drank a lot excessively. There'll be people that listen to this that drank more or drink more. I pity them. And there'll be people that drank a lot less or drink a lot less. But how can you fulfill any kind of potential if every day you poison your body? Because I think when we were younger, we didn't realize that we were poisoning ourselves, did we?
Huh.
I didn't. A glass of red wine a day is good for body fat. Eric Cantona drinks a glass of red wine a day. That's why he's got such a strong heart. That was shit like that. Now we know the truth.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know that truth when I stopped drinking. I didn't know that it was linked to 7 types of cancer. I didn't know it did this. Blah 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 blah. I just thought it might fuck my liver up.
Yeah,
And
same.
if I stop drinking, my liver will get better. So no dramas. But I didn't
Exactly.
realize the blackouts and the destruction to your brain.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea. But if I knew all that now, and I wanted to recreate a new person
The
for myself,
depression, the anxiety, it just holds you back so much, doesn't it? Like it holds
yeah,
you back so much. Like I say, every fucking week. If you can get twisted one night a month or once a week and it not jeopardize your job, your life, your mental health, your physical health, lucky you. But if you're questioning that you want, if you're questioning going sober, but you're scared of doing it, just do it. And then if you regret the decision, talk to us, but you won't.
that's a really good point, isn't it? That's a really good point. If you want to do it, and come back to me when and tell us how shit it was.
Won't hear from no one.
You won't hear from you if we tell them they have to wait a year. You might not hear from anyone.
No, first
You
two
might have
weeks,
to wait
first
first 3
3 weeks,
weeks.
everyone be fucking hounding me and like, what the fuck have you done?
You've mugged us off, lads. But yeah. you know, your first 3 weeks of training for a marathon when you've never done one before ain't fun. But again, it's growth, isn't it?
No, but that's another thing that you might do when you go sober.
Yeah.
I'm doing one next year.
Where are you doing it?
Brighton.
All right. You can stay at mine, recover.
Brighton, mate. Yeah.
I'll come and watch you.
Yeah, nice man. But yeah, I mean, I played five-a-side footy, so I played football since I was 3 years old. Half decent, not anything to shout home about. Do you know what I mean? I'm not one of these people that says, "Oh, I would have been pro if I didn't do my knee" or anything like that. But I could play football, not great, but not terrible. And when I got to the peak of my alcoholism, played five-a-side, I kept falling over, man. Like honestly, I couldn't even turn. There was times where I was playing five-a-side, but I'd have to drink before, and I couldn't even fucking touch the ball. I'd just fall over. It was weird. It was like an old person. It was actually fucking sad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stopped drinking. I've ran a half marathon. Again, not giving myself the big one, but ran a half marathon, and I'm doing a marathon. It just really does give you your life back. Like, so thankful for it. Do you know what I mean?
Imagine that, like a relatively, capable footballer gets into his 20s and can't run without
No,
falling over.
I know.
That's what
I
alcohol's
know.
done to you.
I know. It everything, mate. Everything. Take your fucking touch away.
Oh yeah, man. Like, I've had similar incidents with
My
football.
touch was like Weghorst after.
Fuck that, man. Oh, I liked him. He tried.
Listen.
But that's just crazy, isn't it? You're in your 20s, mate.
I know.
You should be in the prime of
I
your
know.
life. And you were big. I've seen photos of you. I think I was massive when I stopped drinking. I was touching 17 stone.
Yeah, same. I think.
And my coordination.
Yeah.
Fucking shit, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, like everything seems hard. Like balance is so bad. Like if someone chucked a tennis ball at me, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do. I'd probably have a panic attack. Honestly. And you just can't do the normal things. So unagile. Honestly, I've seen milk turn quicker than me on a football pitch.
But, mate, can you imagine though if someone had said to you, right, you at 13, you like your football, right? But in 10 years, this is how your life's going to pan out. You're going to be so fat and so washed up that you won't be able to turn around. You'd be like, what? What?
Yeah.
Why? I don't want that to be an option for me.
I know.
But it's so easy to just.
And then this year, I won Players Player for my team. So the moral of the story is it is reversible, but you've got to do something about it. Sooner the better.
Yeah. In the chat group that I've got, people are feeling it physically now in their 50s. You and I got lucky. Really lucky.
Yeah.
So I'm 43. I can't imagine the state I'd be in if I'd drunk another 10 years.
I reckon if you were still
I think I'd be
drinking now,
dead.
yeah, you could be dead. You could be.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd definitely be in a really bad way if I hadn't.
Think about it. You'd be huge. You'd be double the size. Oh, mate, it's actually fucking scary, isn't it? Really.
I know when you paint it all like that. If you're listening now and you're in that kind of,
could be fucking dead,
mate, it's scary.
And if you're not dead, I bet you're wishing that you were.
But do you know what? There was times where
because you'd feel so bad.
Yeah,
your life would be miserable. You'd have no kids. You'd have nothing.
But even back then, my life was so like meaningless to me when I was comparing it to the potential I had, that it wasn't really a life anyway, you know?
No, exactly.
There's nothing fulfilling about it. Existing purely to look for the next drink
100%.
is not a life.
No, that's
And it is.
exactly how I felt.
Well, you and I were drinking that much, and we were both that scared of quitting, and we both did it and stuck with it. And it wasn't what played out. Do you sit around thinking, "Oh, I'm scared of not drinking for another month"?
Now,
Yeah.
no,
Well, of course.
no,
Like,
I welcome it.
so welcome it. Yeah. It's like, come on, come on. You know, you're there.
Yeah,
You are like a massively overweight, unable to turn 20-something, and now you're running a half marathon. I just think there are loads of blokes like us that need to, and women, but you know, we're like from a lads' football pub Saturday point of view,
yeah,
they need to hear it from us
yeah,
that was that were in that like the epicenter of drinking hell to
yeah, mate.
know that it won't make you a boring prick. It'll just give you the life that you should be having.
Yeah. You're passionate about it, and so am I. Can't stress it enough. If you're worried of people thinking that you're a cunt, or if you're let's be honest, if you're worried that people are going to think you're a cunt because you don't drink, or you're less of a man, or you're a pussy, or you're a bitch, blah blah blah. I promise you, you're not. And if people think that, who gives a fuck anyway? Because you're going to have less anxiety, less depression. You're going to have more money. You're going to have more fun, a better lifestyle. You're going to be happier. You're literally going to have a better life. So if John and Paul from down the pub think you're a pussy or a lightweight or you can handle it, who gives a fuck?
Well, that just makes John and Paul the cunts, doesn't it?
Exactly.
People need to know that.
Exactly. You will never regret it. If you think you've got a drink problem, you go sober, you will not fucking regret it. No way.
No one's ever regretted being existing as a sober person. They might have regretted. Well, yeah,
Mate, do you know what? The only challenge is for me now, yeah, when I go to like a thing that I've kind of got to go to. So I went to a stag do last weekend, yeah, and it was really tough because a lot of people obviously ask like, "Are you still not drinking?" Blah blah blah. Because I had a Costa cup, do you know what I mean? I had a coffee, and don't get me wrong, then like because it was an all day thing, it was a tough day. But normally, if I've got to go out and show my face somewhere, I don't have to go out, but I want to go out, and I'm not feeling it. It might be rough for an hour because everyone's talking gibberish and talking bollocks, and I'm not on the same wavelength. So I feel like I stand out like a sore thumb, and I feel a bit not uncomfortable, but I don't feel like I really fit in because I'm not drinking. It might be a bit uncomfortable for an hour, yeah. And but then you go home and you're happy. You wake up, you're fresh. You've got the whole day to look forward to. Then people that drunk and got fucked had a few hours, 2 hours, you said, and I'll agree with that. The first 2 hours are decent, then it goes to shit. They had 2 hours. They're gonna suffer for 2, 3 days. It might
potentially,
take
yeah.
4 days till they feel normal again. So
So when you talk about the fear of quitting, it's just basic maths, isn't it?
yeah,
2 hours of fun, all of the horrible shit, all the things that you think you're going to miss out on, all the things that you end up doing. You know, it's like,
exactly.
and you know when people say, "Oh, why don't you?" If they're a bit shitty about it, "Oh, why don't you drink?" The best answer is, "Why do you drink?"
Yeah, no.
What really? I'm not. We're not demonizing drinking. We're not that type. We've been too deeply entrenched in it to disrespect anyone that does it.
No,
But if
fair play.
and I'm
All
not
my
going to
mates drink.
disrespect. I'm not going to disrespect anyone that wants to quit and can't either. That's, you know, they're the people that want to reach out to. But
You've
it's
got
just
nothing to be scared of.
nothing. You're already scared. No?
Yeah.
You're already scared of your finances, or
Yeah.
you're scared of
You'll have an
your
anxiety. That's
health.
why. The reason why you're sending messages asking about it, and it's good that you are, but it's because you're scared already. So take the plunge, do it. You won't regret it. Fair enough.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. We are living proof.
Yeah, exactly.
We are living proof that Burnley versus Crystal Palace can become less appealing than a walk in nature.
Yeah, mate. It's true. I never thought I'd say that.
No.
I was going to say you could even walk in nature and stream it on your phone, but nah, it takes away the whole thing. If you're a Palace fan or a Burnley fan, fair play.
Yeah, but if you're a Villa fan and you're watching Burnley Palace on your phone in a field with a beer in your hand,
Yeah, pissing down with rain.
yeah, good. You
You're
need a
just
new
loving
life.
it. But yeah, it's to wrap it up. I think it is more than fair to say there's nothing to be scared of. It will be the best decision you ever make, and for the people that are new to sobriety and stuff, they can go to and they're worried that all their friends are big drinkers and they're isolated. They can go to your chat group, meet loads of new people. Everyone's a winner.
Everyone's a winner, baby. Yeah, that's true. Stop drinking, people.
Cool.
It's just that's the message of the day. Stop drinking.
Smug bastards.
Yeah, mate. Safe. What are you doing today?
I'm going to enjoy the sun today because we don't get it often, do we?
No.
So I'm going to enjoy the sun, mate. Get out there, and I haven't got a great deal on. I'll train at some point. I'll go for a run maybe if I'm not aching too much. But yeah, man, I'm quite. You get excited for the days, don't you?
Yeah, mate. Do you know what? When I go to bed, I get excited about my morning coffee.
Yeah.
Honestly, at night I lie there, I think, oh, I can't wait to have a nice hot black strong coffee in the morning.
Yeah, nice, man.
It's much better than thinking, oh God,
I don't want to wake up.
I've got 4 cans of Grolsch in the fridge, and tomorrow morning I know I'm going to drink one of them when I wake up.
There is no way there'd be 4 cans of Grolsch in my fridge. They'd be in my bedroom next to me, like I'd be cradling them.
It used to do my mum's head in when she used to, when I went home at lunchtime. Sorry, when I went home at holidays and stuff, that she'd come up to my bedroom in the morning, and she'd find like a can of Stones next to my bed.
Can of Stones.
Have you ever drunk that? It's like an orange can. My dad and his mate used to drink it. It's like this darkish bitter.
Oh, really?
I drank a lot of bitter, and you know, she'd come up to my room like, "Why have you got 2 cans of Stones next to your bed?"
It sounds horrible, that, mate.
22 years old. Fucking sad. Safe. Well, my family are back. The girls have been away all week, so my quiet house will no longer be a quiet house. But I can't wait to see them. So that'll be my afternoon.
I bet, man.
Right.
Good for you.
We are at the Sober Stretch on Instagram. We are on Spotify and YouTube. Come and follow us or subscribe. It helps us and it will help you, because as we grow, the sobriety world grows. I have a personal page on Instagram at SoberNSound, sober letter N sound, all things alcohol and sobriety related. And Craig?
I'm at live without limits _coaching, and that is anything to do with exercise, physical activity, as a replacement for Coke and booze.
Yeah. The best replacement. Sound, mate. Take it easy.
Sweet, man. Catch you later.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye.